Welcome in, everyone. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to space, sort of. Welcome to I Was a Teenage Exocolonist by Finji and Northway Games. This was released in August of 2022. We've been doing a lot of fantasy stuff lately, a lot of witchy stuff lately. I figured let's take a hard left at Albuquerque and do something completely different. I don't know anything about this game outside of what I saw on the store page, which you can find the link to in my chat. We're gonna go check it out. We're gonna go have some fun. We're gonna explore and do whatever it is that we can. And in the end, hopefully we will have had a good story and done some cool shit and been in space, sort of. We're going to an alien world, you guys. Let's go. Ooh, wake up. Okay. This game deals with mature subjects. Thankfully, we are in an adult-only stream, but it's mature subjects, guys. Be aware. It may not be suitable for all players, but it will be suitable for me. Please see our content warnings in the system menu for a detailed list of themes and events. I've checked it out. There's a little bit of things that you should be aware of, but nothing too graphic, at least in my opinion. It's at least me-friendly, which is good enough. Good enough. Let's go. Oh. You wake to chaos. A confusion of light and heat and smoke. Uh-oh, things are on fire. That's not good. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got here or what on Vertumna is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches and your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend? Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. Well, if all we can hear is a ringing in our ears, shouting at her is not going to help us. Let's just climb out, shall we? You try to stand up, but one of your legs folds uselessly underneath you. It won't hold your weight. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble. She throws your arm over her shoulder and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a deep, eerie twilight, deep blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog? Like from Earth? Welcome in, Bramble. The creature howls and lunges, its jaws open. I think that we just died. Well, that's a hell of a way to wake up. Yeah, Bramble, you haven't really missed that much. We were in some sort of fire, in some sort of place, and we just got eaten by a dog. You are born on the Stratospheric, Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the Sol system. Now we're getting some background. Your parents run the hydroponic gardens, which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Vertumna 4, in the hope that they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They named you something else because we're going by Mayrin as always. It's my channel, I can do what I want. Eaten by a dog, yeah. Dog indeed. Look at me, I'm so cute. You're a bright-eyed child with an active imagination. Sometimes too active, your mom says. So we can move sliders around. We can be a she, her. We can be slightly they, them, slightly they, them, the other way around, or he, him. I am, of course, a she, her. Feminine appearance in late teens. Androgynous appearance in late teens. So if I drop the slider here, does it change anything? We're gonna go slightly feminine. Yeah. That's where we at. I'm a girl, but I'm not a girly girl. I mean, it could have been worse. Bramble, we could have been eaten by a grue. I'm just saying. This must be the classroom we grew up in. Looks pretty cool. I would love to be in this classroom. That looks a hell of a lot of fun. Oh my. I got a little bit of empathy. Nice. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, skies overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what, Vertumna will be like. So we have some menus. I could show you guys the content warnings if you'd like. It's also telling us what song we're playing. Nice. We have friends, of which we have none yet. Good to know. Currently, I'm about 10 years old, an average kid. I have an innate understanding of others, and I'm even better at winning arguments. Wow, that actually does sound like me. We have memories. We know giggling, our first words, wondering, discovering, crawling, and first steps. As for gear, nothing. You'll keep adding to your deck as you age and can forget cards by spending time relaxing. You have a limited number of gear slots based on your organization and other skills. Click gear to equip or unequip it. Collectibles you find while exploring may be given as gifts to friends or used during challenges for one-use bonuses. Oh, did I mention this is kind of a card game? Well, this is all we got. These are the cards that we have. Giggling, first words, wondering, discovering, crawling, and first steps. And last but not least, we can open and close our character traits as we learn how to do things. It is the quiet season. Neat. All right. We have 0 out of 99 kudos. We are not stressed at all whatsoever. And we are, neutral in the rebellion department. Well, onward. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first sign of yours. Do we have eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, or a calm temperament? I know how to read, I do. Or nothing at all. Did our parents just go, nah, totally natural, totally natural? What do we think, guys? What do we think? I know what my actual superpower is. And it's actually not the calm temperament. Not that most of my friends would say the same. Oh, it's funny. Everyone thinks that I'm like the calmest, chillest person in the world. Nah, I'm crazy. It's fine. But what should it be, chat? What should it be? Should I be very good at seeing things? Should I have extra fingers to be extra dexterous at things? Should I have an absorbent brain so I learn all the things? And I do mean all the things. Should I be strong? Strong. Should I be super chill? Totally chill. All the chill. Or, should I go hard mode? And be like, nah, all natural, baby. What do we think, chat? I'm letting you guys weigh in. I would love to hear you weigh in. Oh no, chat's leaving it up to me again. Oh boy. I'm gonna go with absorbent brain. I'm gonna be smart, because that's me in real life. Let's see how well that does for us. Ooh. +1 skill on brain challenges. Win. I have absorbent brain. I learn all the things. Which gives us 10 reasoning, so a little more reasoning in the reasoning department, and absorbent brain 1. Professor Hal says kids learn fast because their brains are like sponges, but when people get older, they can't absorb as much new stuff. Not for you. You're always learning, and your curiosity knows no end. Much to the chagrin of my parents. The other kids have trouble keeping up with you, but one tries. We could have energetic and loyal. I know how to say this word, and I don't know how to say this word, and my brain conflicts on it on the regular, but let's maybe not go with a name I can't regularly pronounce. We could have tough and gentle Cal. So I believe this is Marine Life Boy. We have Cal. We have bold and confident Mars. Oh boy, she looks like a badass. We have quiet and adventurous Dis. There is studious and mature Tangent. Not entirely certain that Tangent is represented in this art. And then there's shy and sweet Tammy. Who do we want as our friend? Fenrin! Welcome in! I adore you as well. I'm gonna give you a shout out real quick. Not that I think it does much, because on my end, I don't have anything cool set up for shout outs, but here you are. You want me to go with Tangent? Sturdious and mature Tangent? To level out my empathic reasoning? Legolas! Welcome in! I know exactly where you came from. Hi! Welcome in, welcome in. Glad to have you. We are playing I Am a Teenage Exocolonist, and we're trying to figure out who we are. So this is me, the colonist, Mayrin, and these are some of the potential friends that I can have out of all of these. So I'm pretty sure at least the first 4 have the art here, and the last 2, not entirely certain. So who do we want as our friend, guys? Winter Fairies is Tangent, because they're studious and mature. To our empathic reasoning, always learning brain. Bramble agrees. All right. Okay. Well, this is all we know about said friend, so you know as much as I do. Tangent is the classic sidekick type. You are correct. Studious and mature sidekick. To be quite frank, I got adopted once in high school by someone very much like this person, who was energetic and loyal, but they were also like super extroverted and artistic. Not autistic, artistic. They loved to make art. They were very good at it and I loved their art. In fact, I have the collection of most of their early works still to this day. And they adopted me and gave me no choice in the matter. Tough and gentle, I had a couple of people who were friendly and tough and gentle. Bold and confident was most of the boys that I dated in high school. Not that there were more than 3, but still, most of the boys that I dated in high school. Quiet and adventurous was kind of my bag. If they were quiet, I adored them, because I was, at one point in time, a shy person. Shy and sweet was who I actually was growing up. Not that my parents would agree, but most of my friends would be like, oh, she's the shy, sweet one. So, yes, we'll go with Tangent, because I can actually say their name. Oh, hi, Tangent. You look cool. Dang. Tangent sits right up front by the holo projector and always has her hand in the air. She and her twin, Dis, awesome, Dis is, by association, also my friend, drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tange is a girl. You always knew she was, but her relationship with Dis is worse than ever. So we have the ability to go like, wait, that's not right. We can go check out the other people. So Tangent and Dis are twins. Tangent is now a girl. So she decided what to follow her true gender. Her card that we get, because this is a card game, is Tangent's focus +1 if this has the highest value, of which its value is, I believe, 3. And every card there has the illustrator on it. That is freaking awesome. I love this. This game is very cool. So, are we good with Tangent, or do we want to check out everybody else? Because she looks freaking badass. Like, I already like her. I'm gonna go check out everybody else. Well, we're gonna make informed decisions today. Let's check this out. The most enthusiastic... I was right. This is definitely them. The most enthusiastic person you know. Your favorite memory is the time she taught you how to play 0G sports ball after class. She never means to get you into trouble, but somehow you always seem to find it together. So all strength cards become 2. Under 2 become 2. All physical red cards with values lower than 2 are increased to 2. So this would be a branching out of the 2 things that we're good with, and we would get some physical traits with that person being our friend. Tough and gentle Cal. I was so right. Cal is a sweetheart, ready to lend a hand or play a game. He and Tammy are just as inseparable, so it's almost like you have 2 best friends instead of just 1. Cal teaches you how to take care of all the classroom plants. Your parents are very proud of you both. Cal's card is simply a 4 strength, and we get animals and biology with Cal. So he does help us branch out a little bit. Bold and confident Mars, who absolutely looks like she could crush anyone in her path. Absolutely looks. Mars is a natural leader. Whenever you're all playing together, Mars is the one who comes up with all the ideas. She can be a little bossy, but that's part of her charm. She always organizes fun stuff for the kids after class. You're both founding members of the Secret Fun Times Club. Her card is a 5, but it gives -1 to kudos at the end of the round. At the end of the round, this card was played even if you lose, -1 kudos. So she's kind of a troublemaker, but she does give us persuasion and organizing. All right. Quiet and adventurous Dis. Oh, look at this quiet boy. Unlike his studious twin sister, Tangent, Dis sits at the back of the classroom and doodles on his hollow palm. You bond while cracking jokes about the weird diagrams in your textbooks. His quiet nature and his morbid curiosity makes him somewhat of a loner, but at least he has a friend in you. Dis' secret. +2 if it is in the first or last pane. He gives us perception and bravery. Nice. We know about Tangent. So let's check out Shy and Sweet Tammy. Oh, she's adorable and far too pink for my liking, but adorable. Tammy is the kindest person you know. Hey, Tammy is me in real life. She idolizes Auntie Sedent and is always following her around, helping her with the babies or learning how to cook. She has the best snacks at class recesses and always shares, especially with you and Cal. She and Cal are just as close, so it's kind of like having 2 best friends. She gives us creativity and more empathy. Got it. Her card is +1 to the card to the right. So, after all of that, do we still want to go with Tangent? Who doubles down on reasoning which we already have stuff in, and also into engineering, which we get a +1 from because of the absorbent brain perk. You have changed your vote to the redhead? I cannot say their name is the problem. Enemy and enemy. I will mess up they become Anne. Just Anne. Because I can't. My brain knows how to say this word and does not know how to say this word, and this conflict causes my mouth to just go blah, 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 every single time. I will literally be trying to say it 15 different ways the whole time, which is why I don't want to pick them, even though they're awesome. Like, do I want toughness in combat? Sure, but I don't think this is the best place. I don't think this is the best person for me. It's totally fine. Annie is fine. I mean, it does mean that I have something in every category, but honestly, if we were gonna do that, I would actually prefer Cal. Because first of all, I get a little bit extra in any of the reasoning department because of my perk absorbent brain. So I would get 11 in biology. And second of all, animals. Animals. Like, come on. Animals. And I'm friends with, like, he and Tammy are also friends. So I would be, like, this is one of the people who you get, like, an extra tacked on friend. So, Cal is kind of up my level. But then, like, then there's Dis. Perception is super useful skill. The kid with the green thumb. So Tammy? No, that's not right. I think that was that Cal? Yeah, it's Cal. Cal is also the green thumb kid. That's where the biology comes in. Let's go with Cal. We get a little bit of physical, a little bit more reasoning, which we already have our perk in, and then we started out with empathy, so yeah. Let's go with Cal. Here we are with Cal as our childhood friend. Now we've got stress. Oh dear. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hal says it's like a doorway to other star systems, with the planet Vertumna 4 on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. No wonder we're stressed. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the tables. You hurry to gather near the escape pods, just in case. More stress. Hi, Mom and Dad. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Mayrin, your dad soothes. We'll be through the wormhole and down on the planet before you know it, just like we've practiced. Your mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Red emergency lights switch on as a siren begins to sound somewhere distant in the ship. You try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, do we put on a tough face? No, we need toughness 5 or greater. Do we find a distraction? No, we need organizing 5 or greater. No, we get in touch with our emotions because we're an empathy girl. So we remove 10 stress. Our friendship with Tammy and Mars goes up, and we gained the memory stress cry. Nice. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad put his arms around you as you let it out. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeals of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of deja vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know, somehow, that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall head first. You black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow all at once. And more than just one tomorrow. Lots of them. Different tomorrows. Hello. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger, grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Distantly, you feel the ship shaking has stopped, and you hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your consciousness reforms. You wake in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone, and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completely healed. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Sunlight? Trees? Ground? I think we've landed. I think at first all you're gonna see is the sunlight because it's so bright. Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from twin blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, glass-walled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere and people walking around, outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. I think, do we want to rush or do we want to cautiously step? We have been unconscious for 2 weeks after all. What do we think? Let me hear your thoughts, guys. Although, lurkers, please note, interacting with me is optional, of course. If you're just here to lurk and chill and enjoy yourself, by all means. Enjoy the awesome tunes. This game has some great music that I am discovering right now. But as for those of you who are more active in my chat, what would we like to do? Ooh, there's a lot more people to find. Okay, cool. No one has an opinion on what we should do? All right, I'm gonna cautiously step outside because I just spent 2 weeks in med bay unconscious with a brain injury. So I'm just gonna like be a little careful in case I'm dizzy or not quite understanding gravity properly. Here we go. Oh, hello. I can walk around. Strato Colony. Oh! Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind you. You're awake! Are you all better? You better go see your dad. She points southeast to some geodesic domes. To walk, click on the ground. Click on characters to talk to them. I can also use WASD to walk around, so I'm going to. Because I'm not dumb. Tammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but, well, this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed. Tammy stammers, blushing. It's scary outside. Oh, sweeter. Sweet girl. Okay. Nothing new. There are pathways even. I don't know what any of this is. Oh, there we go. Mayrin! Your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Instance thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year, my snoozy little gooseberry. He checks your head and looks relieved. He is clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. Aw, we love our dad. Welcome to Vertumna, he says, gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratospheric from the outside, except in pictures. The ship had been separated in two and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall. Only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside it, dotting their way up the hill. How did you do this so fast? You've been asleep for weeks, dear Aubergine, he says. These geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up. But some of this is only a quick temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things. One day our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Oh, before I forget, he pulls a package out from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Happy birthday, he shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel a dizzying sense of deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. So, do we open the package? Do we tell him you know what's in the package? Or do we not open the package? Looks like we're gonna get a card if we open it or tell him about it. I don't know why we wouldn't open the package, but there's clearly a reason for this option to exist. So, chat, what should we do? There is an ad that's about to start in about 50 seconds or so for those that's still relevant to. If you are a Twitch Turbo user or if you subscribe to me directly, both of those things help me out a great deal, and you don't have to deal with the ads, but it's optional to do either of those things. So if you watch the ads, thank you so very much. I appreciate it. It does help me just a teensy tiny bit. Either way, this is our first playthrough. Clearly, we're going to be able to go through this again sometime later with a little bit more knowledge, but what do we want to do? This game is so interesting. I have no idea what's going on yet, and it's lovely. Also, this music is awesome. I'm enjoying this a lot. Our dad's name is Geranium, by the way, which is a type of flower. One of my mom's favorites. He's cool. You know what? I'm gonna be genuine. I'm just gonna open the package. Next time we're through this part, maybe I'll tell him what's in it. But right now, I don't want to freak out my dad. How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feel of panic rises in your throat. Your hand shakes, but how? The sun medallion gives +1 to challenges. Cool. And it looks cool too. The art is by Eduardo Vargas. Your dad notices. Are you okay, Mayrin? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instance shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes those sleeping meds take a while to wear off. They might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe that's all it is. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry, Mayrin, but I have to get back to work. There was an accident when we landed and... He stops himself. Don't worry, we're going to fix it, your mother and I. Professor Al's expecting you in classes, if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship, when he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in our quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, then kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Mayrin. I love you. So we have unlocked study humanities and engineering. I'm gonna tell my dad I love him too. Love you too, Dad. To enter buildings, click on the door or the flag beside it, or get close and press enter or another action button. Then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You only have time to focus on a few things. Good to know. Let's go talk to Dis. You see Dis sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory so strong you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the wall, something enormous and dark and wriggly. For years in space, you've had half-remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of sifting through wreckage that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, Dis whispers, I think there are monsters out there. Welcome in, Trav. You only realized that you'd be earlier today due to the stupid clock. Yeah, I did try to warn you in my Discord that the time change had happened. I'm guessing yours doesn't happen until next weekend? Or at least another weekend? Anyway. Yeah, America had its time changed, shifted. For everyone except Arizona, basically. Arizona does not believe in that nonsense, and neither does most of the rest of the country, to be quite frank. But Congress refuses to do anything about it. Not for another 3 weeks? Goodness, the time shift is very different this year. 3 weeks. Usually it's like 1 to 2, but for us. Wild. Anyways, I believe you. No, you don't, he says. You're being sarcastic, I can tell. Nobody believes me. He turns his back and ignores you. They're huge and wriggly and dangerous. Uh-oh, less friendship with Dis. Stop making fun of me, Dis pouts. You're as bad as Mars. Dude, I believe you. I absolutely believe you. Dis, don't be like this. Okay, there's the wall. What's up, Annie? Hi, Mayrin. Annie seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold, but it's still neat, and you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Annie is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded around her. What are you making? Just snow spirals, she says. But earlier me and Cal made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in medbay. She smiles her broad gap tooth smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. Have you seen any monsters? No, just some little bugs. The grown-ups would say if they were monsters, right? She shrugs, then smiles reassuringly. Even if there were monsters, Chief Rhett would beat them all up, so don't worry. My mom says we're safer here than we ever were in space. You both look over at the wreckage of the Stratospheric, the spaceship you were born in. Annie's mom, Auntie Sedent, is probably right about that. Look what that wormhole did to your ship. So why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School! I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm gonna be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried to you. It's okay. Professor Hal is chill. He won't mind, but we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you! No fair, she's getting a head start. And she's absolutely gonna win because we are not the most physical. Okay, we could check out what our parents do. This is where engineering is. We don't have a lot of places that we could go. We can chill in our house if we'd prefer. I'm not entirely certain what this is. Or this. And this is clearly some sort of game. Neat. We're definitely not going to be allowed out of the wall anytime soon. Interesting. I kind of want to explore. I don't know if that's going to further the plot, though. Why not? Geoponics. The greenhouses have different biomes inside, growing plants from Earth that might belong in a desert, a jungle, a temperate forest. Some are so delicate you have to spray off any germs in the airlock before you can enter. The seasonal garden outside is dotted with blue nobodies, little flowers with what look like wriggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains it's a decoy, meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flower. Okay. Not much going on there. Let's go check out this building. The garrison. A small team led by Security Chief Rhett was enough to keep the peace on the Stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on Vertumna, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. And best of all, a regulation-sized sports ball court. Okay. Here's engineering. So this is the activity that we can do for this month. A low throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and medbay. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of the wing is off limits to children. Congruence, the ship's onboard AI, beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Mayrin. So, do we want to study life sciences, which will give us +2 in biology, +1 in reasoning, +1 friendship with tangent, and of course, a bit of stress, or humanities, which will give us +2 creativity, +2 persuasion, +1 friendship with tangent, and of course, a bit of stress. We are a bit stressed. It all adds so much stress. Look, studying is stressful. Even this game agrees with that. I remember school. School was fucking stressful, you guys. It was all stress all the time. You were stressed out about your homework. You were stressed out about your tests. You were stressed out about your social groups and whatever drama was going on with them. You were stressed out about your projects. You were stressed out about certain teachers in certain classes, and you were stressed out about administrators and counselors getting you or anyone you knew in trouble. I mean, there was just a lot of stress going on. So I can understand why, even in this game, where the stress doesn't matter and it's just a mechanic in the game, there is stress. Humanities, I had the feeling you're being able to persuade people will be handy. Of course, being able to do things that will keep people alive is handy too, but someone else's problem. Well, we already have a little bit of biology, so we would be doubling down on the biology. Reasoning, we already have a little bit in. And we're going to get friendship with tangent either way, which is great. I'm surprised that we're not getting more reasoning, but I guess we already have reasoning, so really, we would just be doubling down on things that we already have some of here. Or with humanities, creativity and persuasion we have nothing in. So that actually might be a better use of our time for this month. Honestly. Wait, I just realized that you're the protagonist. Scrap that last suggestion. Everything is your problem. Everything. Yeah, no. We are the protag, Trav. Everything is our problem. Absolutely. So I'm gonna go with study humanities because it gives us things that we don't have any points in. And gives us friendship with tangent. And, well, of course, the stress. But, like, stress is stress. Welcome, Mayrin, Professor Hal greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient earth poetry, too. He seems excited about the last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Congruence's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hal says with a yawn. Because I was up late repairing Congruence's sub-terminal and I could use a nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vertumna colony means to you. Oh, God, I hated these assignments. What does XYZ mean to you? Dig deep. I want to hear your personal thoughts. Like, our brains aren't even fully formed yet at 10. Come on. So I could doodle instead of writing. I could say that I feel safe here. I could say that my friends are all here. I could say freedom, equality, democracy. This seems like a big thought for a 10-year-old, I'm gonna be honest. Or, I should say 11-year-old. It was our birthday. We're 11 now. Well, it says we're age 10, so maybe we just turned 10. I don't know. Either way. I think my friends are all here is really... I mean, we're stressed, but it's fine. I think my friends being all here is kind of where we're at right now. We don't feel safe. We know there are monsters outside the walls. We know that for a fact. We have dreamed it. We have remembered it. We know this. Freedom, equality, democracy. What 10-year-old cares about these things? Did you care about those things when you were 10? I didn't. I cared about my friends. I cared about my extracurriculars. I cared about my siblings. I cared about food. I didn't care about freedom, equality, and democracy so much. They tried to teach us how to care about those things, but I was 10. Like, what did I care about it? Care about it now, but I'm not 10 anymore. Or we could just doodle, which I think will probably add to creativity. But I'm gonna go with friends. My friends are all here. You write about all your buds and the fun things you do together. Oh, Mars, why are you mad? When Hal wakes up from his nap, he asks a few students to read their essays to the class. Mars is annoyed that you hardly mention her. Well, you aren't really friends, so... Oh my god, Mars. Really? Really? We're not even friends. Well, I mean, we're kind of friends, but we weren't really that close as friends. Like, come on. I don't know what her problem is. When you work or go to class, you'll play a quick card challenge as the month passes. Move cards to fill the 5 panes and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. Here's an example. If your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your cards, some challenges can't be won, but you can still get rewarded for doing your best. So, bonus for flushes, same color together. Bonus for pairs, same number together. So this is a flush 3 and a flush 2. This is a pair 2 and a pair 3. Bonus for straights, increasing from left to right, so 0 through 4. The more cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher the bonus added to your total. Cards can also affect each other and can be rearranged to find the best total score. So, some cards have abilities to change values. We need a goal of 7, so we could do... something like this. And that gives us an 11. So we get flush 3 for these 3 and pair 2 for this. We also get a pair 3 for here. Or for 3 of a kind. 2 of a kind and a flush 3. The sun medallion is already equipped, so it does give us +1 to challenges regardless. No collectible. So we win with an 11. That was easy. Of course, this is the very first time we've ever done the card game, so. You worked well this month, +1 creativity. So we got +3 creativity because we won the challenge, +2 persuasion. We got a little bit more friendship with Tangent, and we even got a kudos from having the best score. And some stress. Stupid stress. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenge, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest scoring hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, take a month off to relax in the quarters wing. All right, so we have gained some skills in places. Our mom's name is Flulu. Flulu and geranium. Interesting. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know growing food is an important job, and it's vital to get crops on the ground right away, but there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed. Though you can tell they're exhausted, they make an effort to spend time with you. Sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry, your dad says. Your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How you been holding up? You learned some stuff in school. Glad to hear that, your mom says. I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Your dad smiles. And Professor Howell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You could spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom, I think there are lots of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Your mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future, and if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have ideas for how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. So we can now shovel dirt in geoponics if we want to. Early quiet to mid-quiet. So that's just the month that we're in, is in the quiet season. Why it is called the quiet season, we don't quite know yet, but it is quiet. Alrighty then, who's out and about? Hello! Annie is bumping a sports ball with her wrists, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts and bumps the ball into your direction. Think fast. Well, we can't do a trick because our toughness is not high enough. But we could try to bounce it back or dodge. Colonies are really bad places for experimenting. There's not much margin if things go wrong. Well, Trav, this was a one-way trip through a wormhole, so there's no going back. Everyone who came on board or was born to it already knows this. So yeah, it's a really bad place for experimenting, but this is what we've got. What are we gonna do? Bounce it back or look out? An attempt to dodge. Our toughness is only this with animals. We don't have a toughness high enough to do a trick, so. What shall we do, chat? Please tell me. Duck and cover. Okay. You flinch and jump out of the sports ball's way as it careens past your head. Whoa, that was close. Annie doubles over laughing. Nice save, Mayrin, she giggles, jogging over to pick up the ball. Not. Want me to show you how to do it? Sounds perception while bouncing back. Sounds like combat. Could have also been just pure toughness, Trav. Sure. Why don't we learn? Yay, we got a bit of toughness. You bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Annie tells you about the new sports ball court. A proper regulation-sized court, way bigger than the little 0G one on the Stratospheric. Her brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He's coaching me to play awesome like him. You should come join us. So we can now go play sports ball in the garrison. But we did gain a little bit of toughness from all of that. Let's see who else is out and about. Oh, hey, Dad. Hey, Mom. Hello, my little potato, your dad exclaims, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Just hanging with my friends. That Cal's a good boy, he says. And have you seen Annie? She's been out by the garrison playing sports ball. I think she spent every day outside since we landed. He chuckles to himself. Guess what happens when you've got enough brothers to make your own sports ball team? He breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumna is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I missed seasons. Back on Earth, it got so much colder. And the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. Well, see you, Dad. You find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouses with a small construction crew. You've seen these plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the most delicate plants from Earth. Spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her canteen as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Mayrin, you're responsible for your own schedule now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time, so long as it's productive. She points towards the engineering wing in the back half of the Stratospheric severed frame. Professor Hal's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical application. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hand on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? Let's ask her about what's going on in geoponics. I mean, that's kind of relevant. Our parents are both in geoponics. We may as well ask what's going on. They'll know. She looks down and nudges at a sprout growing between her feet. It's green, the color of earth plants. We're doing our best, she says, but it hasn't been easy. I just hope the potatoes and corn can handle the weather here, she says, glancing up at the sky. I hear it rains like hell in the wet season. She takes a long look at you up and down. You're growing fast, Mayrin, but you're still so young for real... still too young for real farming. Instead, well, there's a lot of soil that needs to be hauled. Seeing your disappointment, she nudges you on the shoulder. Oh, don't pout. It'll help build those muscles. You'll need them now that we're out in the real world doing real work. Out here, we have to rely on our physical strength. She flexes her biceps. Your mom is really strong. All right, what's happening in engineering then? Hal's teaching classes on life science, engineering, and humanities. If you pass all your tests, maybe he'll let you work there in a few years. Your father thinks you're old enough that school is optional. I don't agree, but I'll be honest with you, she says, gesturing to the fields. We do need every pair of hands we can get. If you want to work with me here in geoponics, I'd suggest studying life science. If you don't have a good grasp of biology and ecology, I'm going to stick you on shovel duty. I mean, that's fair. So, what can I do in the quarters? If you need a break, she advises, you can visit the lounge and see your friends. But, she warns, raising a finger, I don't want to see you lounging around all the time. You need to work hard, too. All right, what's the garrison? So Security Chief Rhett is organizing a sports ball team. You used to play, didn't you, back on the ship? It'll be different here with the planet's gravity. Of all the adults in the colony, Rhett and your mom are the most like soldiers you'd see in a holovid. For a moment, you think your mom's going to suggest something else, then she shakes her head. You're too young for defense training, so don't worry about that just yet. Just enjoy yourself and stay out of trouble. All right, what's going on in command? I think Seek said they needed someone to deliver supplies from the depot. They're also setting up a shop there if you've got some kudos to spend. And of course, that's where Captain Governor Udicott works. But you shouldn't bother her. She's a busy woman and she doesn't have your mother's patience with kids. You try not to giggle. Your mom isn't usually known for her patience. Can I join expeditions? Oh, you're too young to leave the colony. It's dangerous. She shakes her head. Your father would be worried. There's so much we still don't know about the world out there. Let's the adults find out. Then maybe you can join them in a few years, when you're older. She gives you a stern look. She isn't going to budge on this one. For now, stay inside the walls. Okay, bye! Well, now we have a handle on what's what. Oh, come on, Dis. I do believe you. Dis looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. Okay. We could dare him to eat the worm if we had bravery, but we don't. Dang. Alright. We've got options. Oh. A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Mayrin, Mars calls after you. Come here, I have a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. So gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather, she continues. Since you like running around, could you fetch them for me? Well, Mars. You know what? I'm gonna help her. I'm a helpful type. She is a bossy bitch, but that's fine. Okay. Good, Mars claps. She's suddenly just down the hill near our quarters. She's probably just down the hill near our quarters. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Right. Tammy is staring obviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Mayrin, she says, putting her hand to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's soy sweets. Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets, made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have the scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nano print it for me because it's so dusty here, but I think I'm getting used to it now. Potatoes do not handle heavy rains well. If you flood a potato field, they're dead in a day or so, and if it's frequent heavy rain, they rot. Best case is they end up tough and bitter. A heavy rain season sounds disastrous for a potato harvest. I agree, Trav, but if they can get the potatoes up out of the field before the rain season, might be alright. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares too. Alright, we have the sweets. Time to return. Mars puts her hand out expectantly. Give it here. We could say we ate them and get a card. We don't have the persuasion to, I want to demand half or tell her to pay up. I'm not about to go, I ate them all. That seems like a bad idea. but I only have so much persuasion. Here it is. Ooh, we got loyalty points. Nice. You hand over the box of soy sweets with a smile. Mars takes it with a giggle. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip, she tells you. Oh, an administrator seeks looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot, she says. I don't want to do it, because, like, ew, running around out there? No. Just go through there, she says, gesturing to the door behind her, and tell them I referred you. Thanks, Mars. Alright, let's go. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you, were her study partner. Tammy was awful. Just awful at Earth history. She thought Europe was the name of an English queen, and the Pacific was a famous ceasefire treaty. Facts go in one of her huge ears and back out the other. No matter how hard you tried, she never seemed to improve. Her ears perk up hopefully when she sees you. Hello, Mayron. I was hoping you could help me with some homework. Of course. Oh no, -1 reasoning. That's terrible. Oh, thank you, she bounces up and down. You spend a couple of hours trying to teach her the difference between exothermic and endothermic reactions. One makes heat, the other absorbs it. Why is this so hard for her to understand? The thing is, Tammy never loses heart when she fails a test or gets an answer wrong. It's inspiring, even though sometimes you feel like you get dumber after studying with her. Oh, that's not how that works. Okay, well, we helped. Now we have to decide what to do with our month. If we go here, we can help shovel dirt. What's here? Command. We don't have the skills to deliver supplies, but we can view the notice board. Command is a warren of long hallways with doors off to tiny nondescript offices. Everyone you pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into the supply depot, which works as both requisitions office and general store. Beyond it are the cavernous warehouses stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. Let's see what's on the notice board. Colony food shortfall 100% low. Colony security rating evaluating. Upcoming event. We will be hosting our first annual Vertumnilia festival during the second month of Dust. Notice, take precautions outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. Current council administration. Governor Irdicott Command, Chief Administrator Seek, Security Chief Rhett, Chief Engineer Instance, Chief Cultivator Flulu, that's our mom, Chief Steward Antecedent, and Chief Surveyor Melatonin. Interesting. All right. Well, we can't go do that. Here's the living quarters. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of their time in the big common area. There's a lounge, a cafeteria, and a creche where all the little kids and babies are raised communally. We could relax in the lounge, which will de-stress. But I'm actually fine with a little bit more stress. Let's go see what new options we have over here. The garrison. A small team led... Oh, right. We've already read this. But we could play sports ball, which will give us... bravery +2, toughness +1, friendship with Annie, and some stress. Kind of okay without any of that. Shoveling dirt will give us 3 toughness. Friendship with Cal, who's our bestie. 5 kudos and some stress. Okay. We have, that would give us 6 kudos. Some more toughness. We could register for engineering classes. We could go get more biology and reasoning. We could also get, come on, creativity and more creativity and persuasion. I would actually love to register for engineering classes, though. Using Congruence's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test on its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. You are now eligible to join Tangent and some of the older students in engineering class, which gives us engineering and organizing. So if I go here, I can now study engineering, which gives us engineering, organizing, and more friendship with Tangent. Oh, and reasoning as well, which is good. You're going to end up spending all that kudos to de-stress. I'm calling it now. It's probably true. Our stress is at 65, so I'm in to study engineering. Professor Howell rubs his hands together as he waits for the class to settle down. He's in a great mood. This must be his favorite subject to teach. If biology and chemistry are the wet sciences, then engineering must be the dry one. But believe me, this class definitely won't be dry. He winks. It's weird. We'll also be learning math, physics, computing, robotics, architecture, and astronomy. Tangent raises her hand. Will we also learn about nuclear engineering? She asks. Professor Hal nods. Yes, at a beginner level. We'll have an overview of atomic theory and take a field trip to the engine rooms to learn how our ship's nuclear reactor works to power the colony. So, let us see here. Here's a pair. There's a pair. The goal was 8. So I have 2 two-of-a-kinds and 1 flush 2. Would it be better to do this, though? This is 11. Yeah, because of a flush 3. I'm gonna go with the 11. Because yes. Win. So we got engineering 3, reasoning 2, stress, friendship with Tangent. Nice. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were sure Professor Hal was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. As Professor Hal walked away as hash browns safe for today, Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed up with stuff you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into a colony recycler. Everything seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces, when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. What if those things haven't happened yet, but they will someday? Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick, or that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. I just don't want people to worry. Your parents have so much on their minds already. You have a feeling that something is happening at Geoponics that they don't want you to know. You don't understand it, but when they come home at night, they look really sad. You don't want to make that worse. If you just keep going to classes and staying out of trouble, it'll be easier for everyone, yourself included. So now it is late quiet. Hey, Tangent. Tangent is hunched over her hollow palm, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Howe wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures, but there should be a catalog. There should be a catalog on the Colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Plants? Tried looking outside. I'll help you find that catalog, or let's make our own list. Okay. Sarcastic response, tried looking outside. She seems to be someone who really relies on her hollow palm. Like, most everyone relies on their smartphone right now. We could decide to be helpful, or we could decide to be, I guess, creative, or at the very least, think outside the box. What do we think? What do we think, chat? I would just like your thoughts. Ultimately, I will push the buttons, but this isn't a vote or anything. It's just I would like to hear from you guys. Making your own list is almost certainly going to miss things, so I suppose that would depend on how thorough the list is supposed to be. Would a list with 10 plants be okay? And then you need to find pictures, so hunting down the catalog sounds like a good move anyway. I think it's just depends on what skills you'll end up picking up from this interaction, essentially. That I'm pretty sure that's what the difference in choices are. This is probably creativity. Maybe a perception would be the first one, and the catalog might be organizing or engineering or reasoning. There might be some persuasion in here somewhere. I don't know. There's only one way to find out. But oh, of course, but I'm not trying to metagame by focusing on skill benefits. No, of course not. We're trying to find the story. That's what we're here for. It's what I do. Let's go find that catalog. I like to be helpful. So organizing and friendship. You launch your own holopalm and start searching the colony's HoloNet archives for a list of autumnal plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under survey logistics in the expeditions net. Annie passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, Holo Nerds, she shouts. School's over. Come play sports ball in the sunshine. Tange just rolls her eyes. We were Holo Nerds together. It was good. Annie runs up to you. Hi, Baron. She huffs, catching her breath, then grins. On the ship, adults are always saying, no running, Annie, no running. But outside, there's so much room. I can run for 5 minutes in one direction, even more after the robo-plows clear the land for farms. I don't have enough toughness to train together, so that's all we can do with Annie for today. Dis, please don't be mean. I can't dare him because I don't have 20. Dis is sitting on the ground just outside the gate, under the watchful eye of someone working in expeditions. We're just stuck here as we were in the ship, he mumbles, but he doesn't try to say anything else after that. Hey, dragon, welcome in. Hello. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo! Uncle Tonin blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid the expeditions are off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squads when you're older. Let's view the map. An info window pops up on your holopalm when you get closer. What do you want to know about? So, this is what's around us, and this is where we are. Basically, that's the colony, and this is nearby outside of it. There's the swamp, the Valley of Vertigo, the Prosaic Plains, and the Resting Ridges. Let's learn about the plains. The Prosaic Plains lie to the far north of the colony, where the higher elevation and natural tilt of the planet makes bromidic snow fall more regularly in every season. Though prone to sudden storm flurries, the plains are a relatively safe place to explore, filled with mostly herbivorous exofauna. Okay, what about the Valley of Vertigo? The Valley of Vertigo is a low-lying trench to the east that's dense with pollen-producing trees. There's a wide variety of edible food here, both plant and animal product, leading to some of the explorers calling the place the breadbasket of Vertumna. There's a number of animals here that geoponics would be interested in domesticating. The Western Resting Ridge? This tongue-twisting region is the broken spine of the planet, home to both dizzying heights and abyssal lows. It's always hot and arid here no matter the season. Traversing these steep chasms is dangerous and only to be done by those with sufficient glider training. However, there are some interesting ruins here to explore. Also, she's a catalog kind of girl by the sound of it, so it's a solution she'd rather have. I mean, you weren't incorrect, Trav. Let's see what the subaquacious swamp is like. To the south is a vast boggy wilderness, home to dangerous animals and hazardous weather conditions. Exploration in this area is only to be done with extreme caution. Alright. Let's view the bestiary. A float cow. Float cow, Xenolevis bovidae. These cumbersome-looking creatures are actually lighter than air due to large helium sacs on dorsal and ventral sides. Careful balancing of helium and urine allows them to control their elevation. They produce a salty, high-protein, milky substance for feeding their young that is also nutritious for humans. The hopeye. Common hopeye, Xenophilus monopodus. A communal creature with two desperate sets of eyes and one strong foot used for both locomotion and defense. Though harmless, these small warriors can be fierce in groups. And then there's the manticore. Manticore, Xenophilus tyrannus. Highly intelligent and predatory. Their plumage changes according to the season. Their body is composed almost entirely of dangerous weapons. Do not approach. No wonder we named them after something terribly interesting. Your mom is hard at work, breaking ground for the new fields. As the colony's chief cultivator, she's been preparing for this year for as long as you can remember. Hey, Mayrin, she says, leaning hard on her tiller and mopping her brow. You need me for something? If you're not going to class, I can always put you to work. We already asked all this. No, I'm good, Mom. Just saying hi. What about Dad? Whoops. Your dad is up to his elbows in rich brown dirt. You've rarely seen him happier. Hey, Gooseberry, he says, scrunching his nose at you instead of waving. Here to give your old man a hand? I could use one. Unfortunately, I don't have high enough stat for this. Sorry, Dad. Let's go talk to Cal, our bestie. Cal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden shuddering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off, but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hey, Mayrin! Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship floors. There are bumps everywhere. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe hoverboards don't work outside, or we all have to adapt. What do we think, chat? What answer shall we give our friend? The empathetic, yeah, that sucks, man. Maybe hoverboards aren't for outside. Or, we all have to adapt. Get good, scrub. Remember, Cal's our bestie. We have the highest friendship rating with Cal over everyone else. We're getting there with Tangent, though. These are the people we know. No thoughts. Okay. We all have to adapt. Yeah, Cal exclaims. Things are actually way better planet side. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over to a small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. Cool. Can I try? Heck yeah. We got some toughness and some friendship. Sure, but please be careful. Mom says if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed going down one side to come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. Yeah, that would take some toughness. Alright, Ugh. I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet, Mars says, sighing. Zek says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and harder working I am than everyone else? Well, we don't have enough persuasion to tell her about our day, so I guess we'll just listen to her gripe. Tammy has barely left the safety of the ship's quarters and lounge since you landed. She's looking fearfully out the doorway. I'm afraid of outside, she admits plainly with no trace of shame. My dad says I need to take baby steps, and that it's okay if I approach new things at my own pace. If we had empathy 20 or greater, we could perform a random act of kindness for her, but we don't have that. And we are too stressed to go to school, so that's everybody outside. I think we're gonna chill in the lounge this month and de-stress. We also can forget a memory, which is optional. That is how we manage our deck for the challenges. So let's relax in the lounge and reset our stress so we can be useful next month. It's nice to take some time off to chill after the stress of school and work, not to mention the mental toll of just living on this unpredictable planet. Looks like you're not the only one who needs some downtime. Some of the other kids are also relaxing in the lounge. We can approach Mars and Dis, we can join Cal and Tammy, or we can sit alone with our hollow palm and get a card. Let's see here. We have 3 yellows, 4 blues, and 4 reds. We have 2 wonderings, which we don't necessarily need to double up on. So, we don't really need more blue, I think. So I'm gonna join Mars and Dis just because I would like to up friendship with them. And they're kind of the lowest right now. I mean, Annie and I aren't exactly big friendship either, but like I do talk to her regularly, so. Oh, no, I would never, I'm not going to get rid of Absorbent Brain 1. Absolutely not. But, because that pairs very well with the Sun Medallion. it's not coming up in challenges because I have 2 Wonderings. So I will have to get rid of one of them. Let's approach Mars and Dis and try to be friends. I mean, unless we want to double down on Cal and Tammy, our bestie, and the other empathetic one. What do we think, chat? I'm not gonna sit alone with my Hollow Palm, just because I don't feel I need that card. I would rather make friends, and I'm not entirely certain that I can make friends with Mars and Dis, but Dis already does not like us. I would like to have him like us more, and Cal and Tammy, well, we're already pretty good friends with them, so. Friendship 8 with Tammy, friendship 16 with Cal. Dis is at friendship 2, and Mars is only at 4. Tangent, we are going up in friendship with through class, so she's at 8. Annie, we're not going up in friendship with, unfortunately, but that's because we're not physically active. And Dis, I mean, is the lowest, so. Oh, so those are your available cards. In that case, you get some serious mileage out of having them all be the same number. So many X of kind of results. Yes and no. There's many ways to manage your deck, but like I haven't seen Absorbent Brain more than once. So I mean like 2 Wonderings. Yes, this is 3 zeros, which is both a flush 3 and a pair 3, but I'm not seeing this card very often. I also have 2 first steps that I could manage without as well. I can pair the zeros with other colors too, so sometimes they're good for transitioning things as well. You want a variety of numbers, and at the end, all the numbers add up to your final score. So having Absorbent Brain 1 come up more often because it gives us +1 to the challenge at the end, regardless, but only if we win, is really good. Hey, Plague Doctor Man! Welcome to I Am a Teenage Exocolonist. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are getting over that cold you had. So, I mean, a blue 3 is not something that we really need right now. We don't have any other 3s. It's basically completely gone. I'm glad you're feeling better. I worried about you because, I mean, you're my friend. Why wouldn't I worry about you? And I only worry because I care. We are still early in this game. This is the game that we will be playing, and it's pretty cool. Your stomach is still feeling bad, but that's mostly because of anxiety, I think. Well, I mean, you are in school. That will be plenty of causes to be anxious. I do hope that the anxiety clears up soon. Please take care of yourself. I'm going to join Cal and Tammy. Screw it. I'm making this decision. Cal is braiding Tammy's long hair and weaving in strands of little colored baubles. This one's called a waterfall braid, I think, he says. I saw it in an archive vid, but it's really tricky. He's doing a terrible job of it, his short, clumsy fingers getting all tangled in the strands. Unfortunately, we don't have creativity high enough to do better, even if it would give us a car. Aw, that's a cute card, too. I'll do Cal's hair. Cal and Tammy sitting in a tree. Let's not be that asshole. No, instead we will do Cal's hair, and it'll just be a hair. We're just gonna have some fun. Of course, Plague Doctor Man. I care about my friends. I hope them all to be well. Yay, friendship. You sit behind him as he sits behind her, like a mini conga line. You braid some short strands of Cal's hair, putting one of the little baubles at the end of each one. He finishes Tammy's hair. It's almost recognizable as a waterfall braid, then touches his own braids and giggles. Well, now we'll do yours, they shout in unison. You jokingly try to escape, but Cal sits on your legs while Tammy gives you a beautiful braid. Whew. We needed to de-stress. Holy crap, we were so stressed. But we did make more friendship with Tammy, and what do we want to forget? First steps 1 or wondering 0? Wondering 0, goodbye. Forget you. Because I want to see Absorbent Brain 1 more often, which will pair well with the other 0 that I have of the Wondering. First Steps is also a double, so we can get rid of that next time. Or can I get rid of... No, it's one or the other. Alright. Yes, please. So that is how we manage our deck as things go along. Because this is a deck, a card game, basically. It is now early pollen season. Clear-minded. We've got no stress or worries. 10% chance to get a bonus +1 when increasing skills. Yes. Good, good, good. Let's go talk to Tangent. It stinks out here. Not just one stink either. Every day it's a new stink. Today it smells like... She wrinkles her nose. Like that time the waste reclamation unit broke down. Yuck. You haven't noticed the smell. She sure is sensitive, or maybe she just likes the stale air inside the ship better. If we had reasoning 20 or greater, which we do not, we could study together and get a card. Gotta build up those skills, man. Hey, Dis. Still can't dare him to eat the worm. Dis is sitting on the ground just outside the gate, under the watchful eye of somebody working in expeditions. Yep, we've read this one. Is there anything new? Annie holds her stomach as you approach. Does the air here make you feel hungry all the time, or is it just me? She wonders. I feel like I could eat a whole one of them mushroom trees just... Oh! She mimes shoving a whole giant mushroom in her mouth. We can't train together because we don't have enough toughness. We have toughness 2. Alright, what do we want to do this month? I don't know. She's further out. Tammy's dad is the head of expeditions, which means he's out surveying the jungle every day. This morning you see her crying in the doorway as he leaves. I don't like it when he goes out there, she sniffs, after he has gone. But he's so brave, and so are you. That's why I like you, Mayrin. Aw, she's very sweet. We can't actually do the random act of kindness. Cal runs up to you, streaked from foot to neck with purple dirt. There's so much space. Me and Annie just ran for 20 minutes, and we never ran down the same path twice. He leans over and braces his hand on his knees, breathing heavily. Hoo-wee, is she's so fast. We don't have biology high enough for a fun nature fact, though. Sad. Here's Mom and Dad. You spot your dad looking longingly towards the forest. Blank Dr. Man, thank you for the bits. You're so kind. I appreciate you. Thank you for supporting me, and welcome to the bits leaderboard for this week. You spot your dad looking longingly towards the forest. You ever think about what's out there, he muses? There could be anything. We don't even know. He sighs and leans on his rake, and I'm stuck here pushing dirt around. We don't have enough animals to help him with it, but we could. No, I'm good. We've read all of that before. Catch the VOD if you'd like to hear it. Hey, she's not hiding. We've read this one. We don't have persuasion great enough to do any of that. So, what is this? A hefty red Xeno egg. It's a collectible. +1 card, change suit to red. Because red is physical. So these are all our physical memories. These are all our memories, and these are all our social memories. Interesting. And this is our gear, and now we have a collectible. Neat. Alright. What else can we find out here? Okay, we could play sports ball at the garrison. A small team led by... we have read this. So we could play sports ball, which would give us +2 bravery, which we don't have anything in. +1 toughness, which we don't have a lot in. And friendship with Annie. Plus, of course, stress. Hey, Mr. Scrake, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. You know I gotta be on that bits leaderboard. Oh, Plague Doctor Man. You're so sweet. I appreciate you. I do. But I appreciate you outside of the fact that you give me bits on the reg. Just saying. Where do I want to be? Ordainment mod is almost done. Sweet deal, Mr. Scrake. Good work. Pat yourself on the back for me, please. I look forward to September. When we go to the dark side of the mountain in Darkest Dungeon 2 and play with all your mods. Alright, we need bravery if we're ever going to get Dis to eat that bug. But we have other choices here. We could do some studying. Life sciences gives us biology and reasoning. Engineering gives us engineering and reasoning. Humanities gives us creativity and persuasion. We also have the option to... Actually, I don't think we have any options here. Yeah, we don't have the toughness or the organizing to do the supplies. Please wear your masks when out of doors during pollen season. Ambient particulate may trigger runny nose, watery eyes, and mild cough, aka allergies. The first annual festival during the second month of dust is coming. Xenofauna have been sighted outside the colony boundaries, as still before, and then these are the people in charge still. Nothing new there. But we can't do the supplies run. We can possibly help in the geoponics. We could shovel dirt, which will give us toughness, friendship with our bestie, and some kudos, which we can't spend yet. I think that we should study in a particular field until we've got enough to pass those frequent checks. Is that a 10 in a skill? Because we're turning down a lot of opportunities. It's like 10 to 20 depending. Really. The places where we have the most is animals, biology, reasoning, and empathy. So if you're gonna double down on that, that's basically spending a lot of time in here. Life sciences will give us more biology and reasoning, two of the things that we're very high in. Engineering will give us engineering and reasoning, which is one of the things that we're high in and one that we are learning. And study humanities gives us creativity and persuasion, which we are not high in at all, but we have a teensy tiny bit in. May it be rad to watch you play this game called Cultist Simulator. I think you'd really enjoy it. I've actually played Cultist Simulator, not on stream. And I get stuck trying to get past just survival, Plague Doctor Man. I have not been able to further myself through the gate in Cultist Simulator, and it drives me absolutely batty. So I have played Cultist Simulator. I am not good at Cultist Simulator. It is an interesting game. Would I recommend it? For the right type of person, I would recommend it. I think Mr. Scrake would actually probably enjoy Cultist Simulator, but it is not a game that tells you how to get things done. It does not give you direction. You have to go discover it for yourself, and I have not figured out the pattern to get further in the game than just to a reasonable or very unreasonable end. I cannot further the cult the way I would like to, because it is very confusing. So, yeah, I played it. It's interesting. It's very interesting. There's a game that I've played before that's even more interesting than that in a similar way, but that was on my phone. I don't think I have it on my phone anymore, though. For whatever reason, I decided to stop playing it, too. Anyway, point of the matter is, it's an interesting game. If you like exploratory puzzles and thinking outside the box, Cultist Simulator might be great for you. It is. Unfortunately for me, I've plateaued in where I can get through it. So, I'm gonna study life sciences because honestly, that's the place to go that will give us the best, or at least we'll be able to get further in this game sooner with life sciences, because we already have biology and reasoning as two of our higher stats. So we might as well get those up above 10 to 20, or up above 10 and 20, so that we can do things. My Steam review of it was, it really feels like you're a lunatic obsessing over your own research and watching it all crumble in front of you because you can't afford basic living and contact cholera. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Yes, that is entirely Cultist Simulator. That is the feel of Cultist Simulator. Definitely 100%. You are spot on with that Steam review. Good afternoon, my burgeoning biologists and up-and-coming chemists. Professor Hal welcomes you back to your old classroom. This afternoon we'll learn what I like to call the wet sciences. He gestures to his hollow projected lesson plan. Biology, chemistry, medicine, ecology, and geology. You'll learn a bit of everything, with opportunities for further study in your favorite field. So, looking for more difficulty, this harder challenge, the harder card challenges option will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on the story? This will replace future minigames with quick coin flip based on your age and skills. You can change either option anytime from the settings menu. I don't want to do either of these. I'm pretty happy with the game as it is. We do have the Xeno Egg if we want to use this, but it is a one-time effect. This is always in effect. And we have the Sun Medallion here. So, this is what we have. I'ma do this. I'ma do this. I'ma do this. I'ma do this. And then so this gives us 2 of a kind and 2 of a kind. We also gives us 2 flush and 2 flush, which is the best that we can do. And this gives us a skill reward at the end of a mental blue challenge, but only if we win. I believe this is a social challenge though, so we win. So we did get +3 in biology because we got the highest score possible. +1 to our reasoning. So reasoning is now a 12. Biology is now a 16. We got a little bit stressed, but we had zeroed out our stress, so we're fine. And we also got a kudos because we got the highest score possible. Yay for us. You wake from an afternoon nap. You squint into the pink-tinged light slanting through the windows. You must have fallen asleep in the lounge. Tammy's shadow falls across your nest of pillows. Oh, I'm sorry, Mayrin, she says, giggling. I didn't mean to wake you up. It's just so nice outside with pollen sparkling in the sunlight. I wanted to open the windows. You rub your eyes blearily. Ugh, you were having the weirdest dream. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Sedent is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I'd have to go tidy the crush first, then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the crush, humming to herself. Let's go get that free candy. Are you kidding? I love cotton candy. Auntie Sedent. In the cafeteria, Auntie Sedent is cheerfully handing out masses of pink candy, puffy and soft like clouds. Oh, Mayrin, she says, handing you a wand with some candy spun around the end. Here, try some of this. We used to have it on Earth. You pull off a piece and give it a taste. It's so sweet at first that your mouth puckers. You've never tasted anything so sweet. And so real. It's not at all like the soy sweets that the kitchen nanoprinter can make. It melts in your mouth, leaving a gritty residue on your tongue. It also has a TTRPG set in its world, which is rad. I've heard Plague Dr. Man. There are so many tabletop roleplay games that I want to play and just don't have the time for. So crazy. You wait until everyone is gone, but Tammy never shows up. You look down at the cotton candy in your hand. It's wilted a little from the humidity, but it's kind of like her, you think. Pale pink and so soft. You keep some to give to her later. So we do have a little bit of pink candy. You're relaxing in your family's quarters after dinner. Your mom had to run off on some kind of council business, so you and your dad are playing a holo game together. When you're just about ready to head off to bed, your mom returns. You can tell from the defeated slant in her shoulders that something has gone terribly wrong. Your dad starts to ask her what happened, but she waves him away and approaches you. She sits down and takes your hand, holding it between her two strong, dirt-creased ones. Mayrin, I'm so sorry I have to tell you this, she starts. Her mouth quivers as she swallows, working on her next words. There was an accident this afternoon. In the crèche. Your classmate Tammy has died. You try to understand her words. Tammy? Dead? That's just not possible. You suddenly remember the cotton candy you were saving to give Tammy, pink and fluffy just like her hair. You put your hand in your pocket to get it, but what comes out is a sticky dark red lump of hard goo. You stare at it, your mind blank. Your mom tells you as simply as possible that Tammy was killed by an electric shock from a broken holo projector. It was just an accident. You press her for more, for an explanation. A little girl is dead, someone you'd grown up with, someone so much like you. She wasn't sick or anything, you just saw her this morning. She was right there. Why? No monsters this time, Trav, but you were close. Your mom's eyes are sad when she tells you. Sometimes there's just no reason why. You aren't used to dealing with death, and you don't know what you're supposed to do or say. You sort of mumble, okay, and then get changed and crawl into bed, a full hour before your bedtime. You try to fall asleep, but you toss and turn for hours. You eventually drift off in fitful dreams of that small, sticky red clump of cotton candy. So now we're in mid-pollen. And we are in morning. All skill increases reduced by 1 for 3 months, and some jobs and actions can't be performed. So easy days are gone. I spend most of the time I have free playing games, writing for my TTRPG or watching stuff about TTRPGs. I have a bit of an obsession. I'm a dice goblin myself. My dice hoard currently fits in a backpack. Not all of the dice that I own are in said backpack. Most of them are, though. Yeah. You're not the only one. And to that end, Blake Dr. Man, if you ever need a player for a TTRPG, I'm down. Just ask. The struggle is real. Yeah. Tange is pacing around in front of engineering. She looks upset. Shouldn't have happened, she says. Tammy's what? What happened to Tammy? It shouldn't have been possible. There was no reason for that holo projector to break. Professor Hal said it was recently serviced and nothing was wrong with it before. It just... She gestures angrily. Just blew up for no reason. Nobody would have wanted to hurt her, so why? How? It doesn't add up. Sorry, Mayrin. I want to think about this some more. I hate when I can't find the answer. Oh, believe me, everyone's upset. Can you believe Tammy died? Dis asks morbidly. Thank you for the follow, Legola25. I appreciate you. I know that you're new here, and I hope that we will be friends forever. But anyone who follows me is now my friend, so welcome in. And I hope that you enjoy yourself. I heard Chief Engineer Instance tell someone about it. He lowers his voice. Tammy got shocked by a broken holo projector. The one in the crutch with the dancing teddy bear, you remember? When she touched it, she got chucked all the way across the room. He makes a sailing motion with his hand. Bam! She was dead before she even landed. Wow, really? Dis suddenly looks embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, it's too bad she's gone. She was nice. He tugs at the sleeve of his oversized jacket. But that's kind of a cool way to die. Dis is morbid. Hey, Annie. Annie is chucking rocks at the strato, sending metallic clangs ringing through the colony. Stupid planet, she yells. Stupid crutch, stupid spaceship. She bends down to pick up another rock, but instead just sobs and braces her hands on her knees. Stupid everything. Why'd she have to die? It's not fair. Kids aren't supposed to die. We will get to Cal, don't worry. Hey Mom, hey Dad. Your dad gives you a hug. Sorry you're feeling blue, Mayrin, he says. Things will start to look up again soon. Sure, Dad. You just have to get over the death of one of my friends. Your mom pats your shoulder encouragingly. I'm so sorry, Mayrin. Alright, Cal, we will get to you. Mars is staring into space, looking somber. She doesn't even notice you come up beside her and barely reacts when you say hello. I'm thinking about Tammy, she says quietly. She used to sit down the hill there, in that spot in the sun. Every morning she'd just sit there for hours in the sun, doing nothing, just being happy. You stare down the hill to the spot near the entrance to the quarters. You can imagine her there, working on some little craft project, humming to herself. You got fun custom steampunk metal dice, which are rad. That's awesome. I know your friend just died and all that, and that's sad. Your parents are remarkably attractive. I know, aren't they? I miss her too. And now she's dead, Mars says, making a face. How's that for fair? Of all the people, how come it had to be my friend? You don't have an answer. You've never heard Mars call Tammy her friend before, but of course she was. Tammy was everyone's scared little sister, even though she was older than most of you. Mars clicks her tongue. Oh yeah, Administrator Sec is looking for you. I guess they need someone to do delivery jobs. She waves vaguely at the door behind her, distracted by her thoughts. Alright. She's not here. She's not here. It's wrong. Time to talk to Cal. Cal is sitting in your mom's flower garden with his face in his hands. He's clearly been crying all morning and probably all of yesterday, too. He and Tammy were really close. Whenever you guys used to play house in the creche, Tammy was always the mommy and Cal was always the daddy. Even though you were just little kids, you kind of always giggled about how obviously they were going to be together forever, like a princess and a knight. I miss her too. Me too, he sniffs, looking up at you. You can see how puffy and red his eyes are. Me really, really too. Hemi always liked these flowers, he mumbles. Sometimes I picked some for her. He runs his hand over the pretty white flowers. Don't tell your mom, okay? Tears well up and slowly leak out of his eyes. He doesn't even blink. He just stares at the flowers as the tears run down his cheeks. You decide to give him some space. Well, we've talked to everyone and now we have to decide what we're doing for the month. And it's gonna suck. Because we're in mourning. The whole colony is, really. But we've been told that we're looking for being looked for, except we don't have the skills we need to deliver supplies. Anything on the notice board? Nope, nothing changed. Alright, stress is 65, but we can go higher. We've kind of decided to do life sciences because that doubles down basically on things that we're already good at. Here we go. You should learn how to do a kickflip, a perfect morning activity. Sure. If you say so. Alright, we're gonna do absorbent brain, wondering, crawling, giggling, and stress crying. Because I feel like stress crying is relevant here. We have a 4 of a kind, a flush 2 and a flush 2. And it's the best score we can get with our deck, so we win. So we will get +2 for biology because of the morning status. We actually get +4 for biology, which is really pretty nice. So we are at biology 20 now. And we get a kudos for having the highest score possible. And we get stress. So much stress. And friendship with Tangent. The colony is going to hold a funeral for Tammy. Do you want to attend? If you don't feel up to it, you could just skip it and take the month off instead. Or you could get back to work. Tammy who? That is not the right answer. Let me see here. Well, we're not too busy. I don't really want to grieve by myself. Grieving by oneself is not a good idea. Hey, PP, welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. I hope that TCG card, that the card simulator is good to you today. We'll probably raid you later. So yes, let's attend, because it's... Grief never really leaves you once you have it in your life. Missing somebody for the rest of your life is rough, but at the very least, funerals allow for some amount of closure. To realize that you are not missing someone alone is very helpful. So I think we're going to attend this funeral. Grief is not a vibe. Grief is entirely a vibe, and it's also not a fun vibe. But it is a part of life. There are people that I still miss and grieve over, and I know that I don't grieve them alone. So every funeral I've been to has been helpful. Can it just not be, though? That would rule. Yes, but if everyone lived forever like Dr. Mann, the world would be a far more busier place. And I would not appreciate that. The colonists gather in the recycling room. Bringing organics down to be recycled here is one of your chores. But you've only come here for a funeral twice. Both times, a colonist had passed away from natural causes during the 20-year-long journey from Earth. This is the first time there's been a funeral on Vertumna, and the first time for someone you actually knew. The mouth of the organics recycler has been polished, and a wreath of yellow flowers placed over the opening. Inside, you see a shrouded figure, Tammy's small, fragile body. Tammy's dad, Uncle Tonin, is here, as well as your parents, and antecedent, and the rest of the council. Cal is here with his mom and her partners, already crying in their arms. The room is packed with people, and the feeling of grief is so thick you can taste it in your mouth. Governor Udicott stands before the assembled crowd. There are no words to ease the pain we feel today, she begins solemnly. There is only the sad company of those of us left behind to share the burden of that grief. Tammy was our child, she continues. One of the first humans to be born in space and the first to die on an alien planet. In her short life, she exemplified the very arc of human accomplishment, bending hopefully towards life beyond our humble Earth. She's the first of us who can truly call Vertumna home. Grief does feel shitty, yes. Her passing was as senseless as it was sudden. Losses like this are impossible to hold within oneself, a painful reminder that life is impossibly precious and fragile. But they also remind us, as always, that as a community we are capable of great strength. Udicott closes the door to the recycler. You hear Uncle Tonin sob over the hum of the particle disintegrators beginning their work. As a community, we remember Tammy. As a community, we return her body to the soil that nourishes us. In this way, Tammy, our child from the stars, will never truly be lost to us. The ceremony is adjourned by a few people, but a few people stay back to console Uncle Tonin as he keeps vigil over the recycler. Cal and Uncle Tonin hold each other and weep openly. Your mom stays behind to receive Tammy's remains. As the head of geoponics, she is responsible for adding them to the colony's precious supply of brown soil from Earth. Your dad accompanies you out of the recycling room. He clears his throat. I want you to know that you don't need to be okay, he says, clasping his warm hand on your shoulder. If you want to take the rest of the month off, everyone's going to understand. Yeah, I'm too stressed to do anything. We're taking the month off. Thank you very much. Tammy was our friend too. So we didn't reset our stress all the way to 0 or get all of the stress relief that being in the lounge for the month would give, primarily because we didn't take the full month off, just some of it, but yeah. The prospect of just going back to school like everything is normal is too much to handle. You end up spending the whole month alternating between sleeping, scrolling the HoloNet, and staring into space. It's restful, at least, and everyone gives you the time you need to process Tammy's death. Aw, pour one out for Tammy indeed. Thank you for the bit, Plague Doctor Man. I appreciate you. A moment of remembrance for a character we barely knew. It is now early dusk. There's a festival coming. The mourning status has finally worn off. Mayrin, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. Who? Dis? Yes, Dis, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing. Ever since we landed, I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. Well, talking to him isn't going to go well because we are not friends enough with him to get him to talk to us. That's not going to go well. We could say that's his own business, but, like, Tangent is our friend. I mean, come on. She's worried about her brother. We're friends. We should absolutely help our friend out. So I'll find out. Thank you, Mayrin, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it would be ridiculous to waste resources if something happened to him and no one knew where he was or how to find him. Right, of course. Tange doesn't get worried. She's worried. She absolutely is. Annie is lying in the dirt, sweating and gasping for breath. It's so hot, she complains. How am I supposed to run in these conditions? Here, I got something for you. We could give her the Xeno egg. Our friendship is only a 4. No. We can't actually ask her about Dis, and we can't train because we don't have toughness 20 or greater, so that's a no-go there. There's Dis. We will talk to him in a minute, but we can talk to Mom. She just has the same information as before. We can talk to Dad. We can't help him with the animals because animals is not 20 or above. It's only a 10. We only recently got biology up to a 20. Let's talk to Cal. Cal is scratching a stick listlessly in the dirt, seemingly uninterested in your presence until you get right in his face. Oh, hey, Mayrin, he says, mustering up a hollow smile. Sorry, I don't really feel like playing today. We finally have this. We can actually ask about the fun nature fact. If my pal told me to talk to their brother for them, I wouldn't do it. I can't talk to people. That's scary. I'm actually very good at talking to people in real life, playing Dr. Man, but at the same time, it's not always the right choice. Please tell me how someone who gets paid to help with tech support is so damn shit at their job. Dragon, just because they get paid to help with tech support does not mean they are trained to help with tech support. There's a difference. People don't do training anymore. That would be nonsense. That would waste time and effort and money. We wouldn't want anyone competent in a job like tech support. We'd have to pay them more. That's how you get that. We're gonna hear a fun nature fact because we can now hear one. You recently overheard the children learning how to count by studying Hop-Eyes. Hop-Eyes have 1 foot and 2 tail forks and 3 stomachs and 4 eyes. So now, 1 duplicate when drawn. Cloned card created when this card is first drawn. Neat. I do love that every card tells you who did the art for it. I think that is really cool. We've seen at least 2 artists so far. Yay, friendship with Cal, and more biology. Heck yeah, we're gonna max that shit out. If you see 5 of them together, that's lucky, Cal laughs, finishing the mnemonic with you. I can read, I can talk. Wait, how did they find out that Hop-Eyes have 3 stomachs? I don't want to know. Alright. Actually, no. I might need that present for Dis, to be quite frank. Let's go talk to Mars. Ugh, I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them. Okay, so we don't have persuasion high enough to do anything with her. So it's time to talk to Dis. Yeah, see, we don't have a friendship great enough to actually be like, hey, where do you go? You tell Dis that her sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. His eyes flit briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off towards the engineering wing where his sister is reading on her holopalm between classes. He doesn't say anything. She's worried about you. She doesn't care about me, he says sullenly. Tangent's just worried she'll get in trouble if I don't come home one day. He scowls and picks at the hem of his sweater. She doesn't care about anything but her schoolwork. Jeez Louise, I would love to actually help him, but I don't want to be this aggressive. I have to figure it out some other way. You're actually pretty good at talking to people, at least so you're told. It's just scary. That's social anxiety, like Dr. Mann. Social anxiety lies. You shouldn't listen to social anxiety. Talking to people is no more or less scary than doing anything else, really. And think of it this way. It just means that you are attempting persuasion checks. That's all. His shoulders slump in relief as you go. Yeah, we're not going to be an aggressive asshole to him about it. Yeah, we're not tough enough nor brave enough to do this. Nothing new in the bestiary. Alright. We don't have reasoning 20 yet, but we do have reasoning 12, so we are working on that. Alright, we are gonna go... We can't find out what's going on with this yet. I don't know if we continue the month if we will still be able to, but life sciences is now not a net positive for us anymore because we have biology over 20. Engineering gives us reasoning +2, which we could definitely use to get up. So I think engineering is our next choice, so that we can get reasoning over 20, and then we'll have to work on something else. Persuasion checks sounds like a job to me. Don't threaten this poor boy. Yeah, I think Dis is going through something, and I don't want to be an aggressive asshole to him about it because he already doesn't like us at all. I'm going to study engineering this month. Hi, kids! The ship's onboard intelligence, Congruence, glides into the room on her ceiling track, and the class cheers. Congruence is cool. She's like a person, but also a machine. She knows a lot of jokes and can tell you anything about space. She never gets bored or frustrated by your questions. You all know me. I'll bet some of you have questions about how I work. What do you want to know? How do you know so many things? My brain is big, she explains. It's just enormous, really. Much bigger than this little monitor you see here, and it's connected to the ship's holonet, so anything you can look up on your holopalms, I just know. Hey, what's your job? Well, right now, part of me is showing animal videos to children in the crèche, and part of me is here teaching you. But most of me is monitoring the engines which give us power and the life support systems that make it comfortable in here. Do you have to eat and poop? She laughs, which has never sounded quite the same as a real person's laugh to you. I guess you could say I eat electricity, but not in the same way you get energy from food. But no, I have never pooped. I think it sounds kind of neat, actually. Congruence explains that she had to do all kinds of calculations to help fly the ship and land it, and that she was designed to provide a user-friendly interface to the ship's systems. But Hal has modded me to be far more than that, she says proudly. Now I can even tell jokes. Why did the computer cross the road? I don't know why. Congruent smiles widely and gives an answer in binary. Yes, she's an AI. She can control things on the ship. We don't know who programmed her priorities, and there's no good reason for why Tammy's device suddenly malfunctioned lethally. Hey, Trav, you want to decode the binary and tell us what she said? Already typing it in. I will leave it up until you say you're done. And so while we wait on Trav to decode the binary for us, how is everyone? It is the beginning of my work week here on Twitch. How is everyone else doing? Tell me about your weekend. Tell me about your day. Tell me how you think your week is gonna go. Tell me a fun fact or a joke or really anything. I would love to hear from each and every one of my dear friends. It'll pass the time if nothing else. I hope you are all well. Even the lurkers, especially the lurkers. I don't hear from my lurkers at all, if not, or at the very least I hear from them on occasion. And I always hope that they are well, because they're my friends. To get a bite to eat. Yep. Thank you, Trav. So, the joke was, why did the computer cross the road? To get a bite to eat is what the binary translates to. Thank you for the translation, Trav. Now we have the the dad joke. Let's get to work, shall we? And here comes the challenge. Okay. We have Cal's strength, but we don't have any other 4s in this. No other strength-based things. We only have 1 0. So here is a flush 2. But we can... Actually, Cal's strength is absolutely a red herring. Watch this. Yeah, because this is a 3 of a kind. And this is a flush 2 and a flush 3. So that is the highest that we can get. Our goal was 13. Cal's strength was a red herring for us, primarily because of Hop Ifax, which duplicates when drawn. So our Sun Medallion gives this extra +1. Heck yeah, we win. So we get an extra skill point to engineering for that. So engineering becomes 8, reasoning becomes 14, and our friendship with Tangent goes up yet again. We are friendship 11 with Tangent now. And our stress, of course, goes up, but we are in an acceptable state of stress currently. I said acceptable, not good. It's time for Vertemnalia. Udicott and the council have called the festival to celebrate life here on the planet. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear the Governor Udicott's speech. In Earth's history, Udicott begins, and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. In Earth's history, Vertemna was known as the god of seasons, change, gardens, and fruit. It's no coincidence that our forebearers of the Vertemna project chose to take on such an auspicious name, in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Vermentelia, a midsummer festival, to celebrate our Vertumna, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. We are going to clap, which gives us loyalty. Nice. Everyone cheers and applauds. The members of the council all get up on stage one at a time to give their own short speeches. Governor Udicott announces each one. Governor Udicott's command. Chief Administrator Seek is command. Security Chief Rhett is garrison. Chief Engineering Instance for engineering. Chief Cultivator Fulu for geoponics. That's our parent. That's our mom. Chief Steward Antecedent for the quarters, and Chief Supervisor Melatonin for expeditions. When it's your mother's Flulu's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown in Vertemnin soil. Your eyes go to the feast table. Aboard the Stratosphere, it would have been mostly soy-based foods from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in the small growing bays. This year, the earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some of Vertumnian plants you've come to appreciate. Juicy Watedo pods and slabs of edible fungi. Udicott takes the stage after everyone in the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities, she asks. Professor Hal and Security Chief Rhett have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Well, we don't have enough toughness to go to bot wrestling, or enough creativity to go to the talent show, but we do have plenty of reasoning for the science fair. Vertumnus? Yes, he was a Roman god. This is definitely, we have definitely strayed away from the Greek and leaned into the Latin for this game. And she's gonna make lots of jokes, and they're all gonna be answered in binary. It'll be a running gag. Probably, Trav. You're probably spot on there. We're gonna go to the science fair. Woohoo! 5 loyalty. Tangent competes, of course, entering her study of the ship's hydro recycling system. It was previously used to make urine drinkable, but she offers that it could now be turned to new uses. Despite how many times she says the word pee, it's still boring, but she put a lot of effort into it. Your turn to go next. The judges are all very interested in what you're bringing to compete against Tangent. This is going to be a reasoning challenge, and it is going to be hard. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of 1. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. So our goal is 40. This slot will open in round 2, and this slot will open in round 3. So what do we want to start out with? We want this like that. So this gives us 7. We could change this discovering into a physical, and I think this is where we use it. How do we use it? That one. There we go. So now we have a higher score. Next round. I see. Nope. Here. So that is the highest score that we can make out of all of this, which gives us 2 flush 2s and a pair 3 of a kind. Previous round score subtracted from goal. So that's the highest score we can get currently. Here we go. And then we still have to conquer 28. Cal's strength is not going to help us here. So let's actually put Stress Cry there. So we get a flush 3, a pair 2, a flush 2, and a 4 of a kind. We could push through with for 50 stress, but even though we cannot fully go for the goal because just we don't have high enough card numbers here, even with our Sun Medallion to help. I believe this is where we give up and find out what it is to fail, because we still gain things for failing. I wonder. Yeah, see, we still can't make 28. Even though that score is a little higher. Interesting. It's just because this is a 4. This gives us push through for less stress, though. We are only 8 away. Defeated. But we get some kudos for having tried. Tangent wins this year. And we get friendship for losing to her. Tangent wins. She accepts her prize with grace, having expected nothing less. Your baking soda volcano was much less impressive than you imagined. It just kind of fizzes and you don't explain it very well. It's pretty clear your dad helped. Maybe next year. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much-needed break. During the fierce heat of dust, a few days' rest is exactly what you need. You feel refreshed. And now it is mid-dust. Have you gone outside the colony yet? Tange asks you. I hear all sorts of terrible things. Regardless, we're not allowed to stray from the gates unless we're on expedition. Tange rolls her eyes. Not that it stops my brother. So we don't quite have a high enough reasoning to study with her. We're working on it, though. We don't have any collectibles anymore because we used it, so... Annie holds her stomach. Oh, she's just hungry again. We don't have enough toughness to hang out with her. Despite the heat, Dis remains covered head to toe in black. It's not that hot, he mumbles. Does this interest you? I can't give him anything. Dang. Should have attempted to give it to him another time. Can't help him with the animals. That's fine. Hey, Cal. You're looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over someone else. One of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded? Hey! They exclaim, ripping the blindfold off their face and throwing it to the ground. It's Sirius, one of Annie's brothers. He glares at you. I was almost done! Cal jogs over and grabs Sirius in a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you were so close! Sirius stamps his feet and complains that you got in his way. It's not her fault, Cal says. She didn't know we were playing a game. Give me a sec. I want to teach her how to play. Cal turns to you as Sirius leaves. Sorry, Mayrin, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Sirius a new game, but he's, more like Annie than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He scoops to pick up the blindfold, brushing off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with different kinds of games, other than sports ball, he says. No winners or losers, just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks at you hopefully. Do you want to learn how to play? Let me check my... yes! Absolutely, bestie! Cal's smile looks like it's gonna stretch right off his face. Radical, he shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first you put on this blindfold. The blindfold is a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hands on your shoulders. I'm gonna spin you around, and when I let go, you gotta listen to my instructions. We're gonna walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You nod. You can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice as he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3... First, Cal says, you gotta walk forward 10 steps. You do follow Cal's instructions as best as you can. Or do you make things difficult for him? Nah, we're gonna do our best, man. He's our bestie. We trust him. You take 10 steps straight forward, holding your hands out for balance. The rocky dirt between the garden beds crunches under your feet. Yeah, Cal says. Now turn to your right and take 15 steps until you get to the door. Let's get it right. You turn to the right and walk forward, counting out 15 steps. When you stop, Cal laughs. You can hear his footsteps crunching behind you. Why make it difficult? You're blindfolded. You'll end up walking into things. Exactly, Trav. I forgot how much bigger I am than you. You're like 2 more steps away. You take 2 more steps until your outstretched hands land on the warm metal of the door. Success. Awesome, Cal says. You can't help but smile. This is fun. Now hit the door button on the right and then keep walking forward until I say stop. Go really slowly, okay? You open the door. Oh my god, I need empathy 20 or greater to trust him? That's Garbo. Garbo, I tell you. My empathy is a perfectly respectable 10. You open the door and start to walk forward. The path slopes downwards, and your feet slip a little bit, even though you're moving as slowly as you can. Real dirt is nothing like the metal floors, the stratospheric. It's turbo rocky here, Cal says, and you can feel uneasiness prickle up the back of your arms. Just keep going forward slowly. Can you trust him? You try to do as you're told, but after a few steps, your foot knocks against a sprawling root, and you fall forward, catching yourself on your hands and knees. Ouch. You tear off the blindfold, a sudden rush of tears flooding your eyes. Cal's beside you in an instant, kneeling on the rocks. Are you okay? He asks. You look down at yourself. Your knees and hands are pretty scraped up, and your pride is bruised, but other than that, you're okay. Cal helps you stand. I'm sorry, Mayrin. I'll be a better helper next time. He asks if you want some Watato juice at the cafeteria instead. You spend the rest of the afternoon brainstorming more games where there are no winners or losers. Oh, that was a pretty good interaction. If only I'd had enough empathy. Alright. What's going on, Mars? Ugh. Yep, nothing I can do there. So... if we talk to Cal again, we might be able to do the fun fact thing. Oh no, I need biology 40 or greater now. Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, it's time to get reasoning up. Because that's what I'm working on now, is reasoning. It's at a 14, so study engineering a couple more times and we should have it. Well, the cap is 100, so yeah, they'll keep raising. Well, I was wondering if maybe you could, like, at 20 they were a little bit repeatable, so you could get more cards in your deck, but apparently not. Loyalty lowers our rebellion, so we are actually pretty happy with people. But yeah, we're gonna do engineering again this month. So much math. It's everywhere. Physics is math. Computers run on math. Electricity, mechanical engineering, chemistry, and anything to do with space, math. Behind everything is some equation or other to calculate how to turn one thing into something else, or to tell how efficient something is. They should have called this whole branch of science matheneering. And now we're gonna do more math. Let's see here. Let's start with this and go here. Then do this. And this. And this. So we got a flush 2 and a flush 3, a pair 2 and a pair 2. I think that's as good as we can get. However, is this a better score? No. That's what I thought. 15, I think, is the highest that we can reasonably get. So we get +1 engineering from that as well. So a couple more reasoning and engineering will probably hit 10 or 20 as well in the process. And we got another kudos to spend at some point. Which makes it late dust. Here we go. Annie is running around the sports ball court, touching her hand to the ground at each corner. 18, she counts. 19! When she reaches 20, she collapses onto the grass and checks her hollow palm. I'm training, she explains. Big brother Com says I have to get my legs climatized to the planet if I'm gonna be team captain like him. Well, we don't have enough toughness to train together, but she's doing well. How's Tangent doing? Yeah, she's still complaining about the stink. We don't have 20 reasoning high enough to study with her yet. We don't have a bravery high enough to get him to eat worms. What's Dad have to say? Not much. We don't have animals high enough to help him. And we can't hear another fun nature fact unless we decide to go hardcore into biology, so. Cal is scratching a stick listlessly in the dirt, seemingly uninterested in your presence until you get right in his face. Oh, hey Mayrin, he says, mustering up a hollow smile. Sorry, I don't really feel like playing today. And Mars is Mars. Yep. The store isn't open, so we can't spend our kudos on anything yet. Alrighty then. Our stress is low, so we're just gonna go to class. Time to study some more engineering. Your first test already? Calm down, class, Hal smiles. This quiz is just to find out where you all stand and what you want to learn in this class. It'll help me tailor personalized lesson plans for each of you. The test pings on your hollow palm and you open it. It starts easy. Suspiciously easy. Sure enough, every section is harder than the last, and you're quickly stumped by a question. You know the teacher said you weren't supposed to be able to answer all of them, but you look over at Tange. She's just breezing through the test. The competitive gremlin inside of you has an idea. We could cheat. We could make a video game instead. Or we could try our best and go for a hard engineering challenge. What do we think? Chat, I'm gonna leave this one up to you. Should we cheat for a card? Should we try our best at the engineering challenge, which will up our skill? Or should we just make a video game instead because this is stupid? What do we think, chat? I would love to hear your response. Not sure you have the cards to pass a hard test. But cheating is rarely a good move. Disastrous if you fail, and if you succeed, they now expect you to be that good, but you aren't, and that can be a serious problem. It's true. It'll give us a card, but even if we fail the engineering challenge, we will still get kudos for having attempted it. So, like, even losing is not necessarily a terrible thing, as this game consistently tells us. Or we could just make a video game instead and have fun. Um, remember, we're not supposed to be able to answer all of them. So if we just make a video game instead, it's fine. Try the test? Yeah. Well, that's what chat wants, so that's where we will go. I don't think we can reach a 41, but we will try. Let's see here. So this is the most synergistic. Stress, cry, and wondering aren't really going to help us here because they don't synergize. So this gives us 9. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Here's 11 because wondering doesn't synergize with any of this. So now we have that. All right. Now we need... We're gonna go with giggling. So this is 14, which doesn't quite get to the goal, but our stress is low enough that we could push through with just stress alone. I'm gonna attempt this push through option because we haven't done it before. Ah, it just gives us a victory. So we do get a kudos and we get a +2 on engineering. Nice. But we are also very stressed. Well, moderately stressed. And we get the acing the test memory because we got that anyway. So you plow forward, skipping the questions you don't know and coming back for some of them later. It's a good strategy, letting you collect the easy points while not wasting time on the harder ones. You got an A, which means advanced class. You still get some wrong. It's a little frustrating, but the teacher tells you those questions were designed for much older students. It appears we'll be working on advanced materials together, Tang says, impressed. What is our friendship with her now? We're at 16. Cal is only slightly higher than her. Everybody else is low. Tammy is gone, so the friendship will never raise above 9. Sad. And we got extra engineering from that, as well as... So engineering is 16 and reasoning is 18. Nice. Our stress is up, but 17 with tangent, so... Late dust turns into early wet. This is the rainy season. Tangent is watching a construction crew build scaffolding for the new engineering pavilion. They're using mushwood, which is so light that one person can easily lift a 10-meter long pole and stack it into place. She points towards them. Human beings are so great, don't you think? Before we landed, this was all just dusty, dirty jungle. Now, it's civilization. I've been learning about adaptability in writing in biology class. The book says it's what sets us apart from the animals. Like, we don't need fur because we can make warm clothes, and if it's too hot, we can make air conditioners instead. Also, we can sweat. Since we needed a biology for this option, I'm gonna choose this, but this is the one where we're not quite so intelligent, and this is the one where perhaps we have our animal skill higher. But yeah, also we can sweat. Which gives us more friendship with her because she's like, oh yeah. Tange nods vigorously. Yes, also that. I read that not many animals sweat except humans, and it makes us naturally good in hot places. It's like we're made to be explorers. Together you watch as the foreman puts the blueprints for the scaffolding into the floating screen of her holopalm and raises it to the scaffolding to check their progress. I'd like to see an alien do that, Tang says primly. Humans look defenseless and weak, but we're the strongest species in the galaxy. Who else can literally bend reality to their will? Not a stupid alien, that's for sure. She puts one finger on her chin. I'm living proof that humanity is greater than our biology, she says. All of us are really with our genetic enhancements. We're the next step in humanity's evolution from great ape to galactic super species. Sure, Tange. That's what you want to believe. She's still training, and we still can't do any of this. I talk to everyone just in case there's, you know, something. Hey, Dad. Can't help him with animals because we don't have animals high enough. Hello. A mushwood log. Nice. Just the same information that we had. What does a mushwood log do? +2 to a card. Or we can give it as a gift to somebody. Maybe raise our relationship with them. I'm bored. This is boring. Mars complains, stamping her foot. All the adults want to do is work, and they're not paying attention to me. So without her friend, she's become sort of upset. Oh great, she's a human supremacist. That'll go down well later on when you meet the underground mole civilization. Indeed, Trav, indeed. Let's talk to Cal. He doesn't feel like playing today, but that's okay. And then it's time to talk to Dis. It's pouring rain and everyone is trying to stay dry under the grass-roofed palapas. Everyone except Dis. Off in the distance, over the wall near the sports ball field, he's definitely sulking. Or skulking. We don't have a perception high enough. We could tell someone. Or we could just leave him be. I actually want to make friends with him a little bit. When you glance back, he's just gone. Okay. Oh, you found me. Dis is adjusting better than you expected to life on the surface. He has already found new places to hide and do whatever he does out there by himself. Hey, does this interest you? Thank you. Dis says, clearly unsure about how to react. I'll, find something to do with it. Cool. We have a friendship of 3 now. It's gonna be a while. Alright. Another day of engineering for us. So this will get us to 20. And possibly 20 engineering as well, depending on how well we do. You do some work with the construction crew this week, observing how they use congruence and their holo projectors to plan, build, and repair the colony. The foreman walks you through the projections, literally, and points out various architectural details adapted to life on Vertumna, like canopies over the windows to keep the temperature down. It's really neat to learn how architecture can address all these environmental concerns, so you don't have to rely on resource-hogging life support systems. All right. So this time we have a straight of 1, 2, 3, and then a 2 of a kind, as well as a 6 flush. So that we have a super goal of 18, and we surpassed it so easy. So it's a win. +5 engineering. Nice. So reasoning has gone up to 20. Engineering is now 21. And we got a kudos for having the highest score possible. Plus more friendship with Tangent. So we're at an 18 now, I think. Or 20 to Cal's 22. All right. Now we need to start working on other things. You're having a terrifyingly familiar dream. A monster crashing through the walls, unfathomably large, every part of it wriggling and moving and searching for something. It tramples through the colony as you watch helplessly. Time shifts to the wreckage of your home. You're picking through it, looking for something. Tears streaking down your dust-covered face as you lift heavy pieces of debris, searching. Jeez, our stress is high. You wake shouting, "No!" but your voice is drowned out by a deafening rumble from the skies outside. The bedroom window is covered in water? It's pouring down from the clouds. You guess this must be rain, but you've never experienced it before. There's a bright flash from outside, then another crack and rumble. Thunder. It must be a thunderstorm. It's still the early hours of the morning. You've already almost forgotten your bad dream, but you're too unsettled to go back to sleep yet. The rain beats down on the roof of your quarters, joined now and then with great peals of thunder like the footsteps of an angry beast. Well, we could hide under the covers until it's over. We could run outside and play in the rain, which is just asking to be struck by lightning. So I think we're going to go to our parents for comfort because this is the first time we've ever experienced a thunderstorm, and sharing is caring, guys. Sharing is caring. Yeah, loyalty and less stress. Thank you very much. Your dad is awake too, watching the rain from the large porthole in the kitchenette. He gives you a hug and you gaze out together. "This is good," he says quietly. "It means we'll have plenty of water for the crops. Pure, healthy water, just like on Earth. Everything's gonna be okay, my little potato." You hug your dad tight and hope he's right. So now we are in mid-wet. That's why they call it the wet season. Tangent is going to complain about the stink, but want to study together? Hooked on Holopalm 3. We finally got this one. We've been avoiding it for a hot second. You and Tangent sync your holopalms and play a game together where you race to assemble chemical compounds using a simple programming language. Tangent is a whiz at it and breezes through the levels, barely breaking a sweat. We got reasoning out of that too. Nice. So that means that Tangent's friendship and Cal's friendship are not maxed, but the same. You can tell she's hiding a smile when she looks over your shoulder to help you with a particularly tricky algorithm. All right. Now we have to decide what next. So our toughness is 2. I don't think we have any way of raising animals right now. Perception and combat are 0. Organizing also is a 2. Engineering and reasoning are at a 20, biology is a 22. Bravery is at 0, creativity is 3, persuasion is 2, and empathy is 10. So we don't have enough toughness to train, but we could work on toughness because we do have some. The garrison will let us get bravery and toughness. We have 0 bravery and only a little bit of toughness. We also could go for humanities again and work on creativity and persuasion, which will continue to push our friendship with Tangent, by the by. Yeah, we don't have anything for Mars because we don't have persuasion up high enough. And we don't have toughness 10 or organizing 10 for the supply run. So, colony food shortfall is low. The security rating is still evaluating. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. The gates will be closed during glow, and a strict curfew will be in place. Plan accordingly. That's new. The current council and administration is the same. So there's nothing new here. We could work on toughness here. This will give us more friendship with Cal and more kudos, of which we have 12. It gives us 3 toughness. So this is another place that we can gain toughness and friendship with Cal. We don't have anything new here, but Dad wants to talk to us. You're looking a little worn out, my little firefly. Your dad greets you looking concerned. You know, despite what your mom might say, there is such a thing as too much work. Maybe some R&R over the lounge will help you. Recharge those solar cells, what do you say? Maybe I just need a hug, Dad. We got loyalty and a little bit of de-stress, so that's pretty cool. Your dad throws his arms wide. Well, get in here, Tiger Butter. After a long hug, you do feel a little better. Your dad gives incredible hugs. He is pretty incredible. Cal has something to do. Okay. We can't give him another gift, and we don't have bravery enough to dare him to eat the worm, so we can't really do anything with Cal, or with Dis, so let's talk to Cal. Hold this to your head now, my darling, you hear as you enter the garden looking for Cal. It'll help with the sweating. Cal is sitting with his mother, Auntie Tira, who kneels beside him holding an ice pack to his head. Cal's eyes are a little puffy. He rubs them and sniffs as you approach. Hello, Mayrin. Tira greets you with a kind smile. Don't worry. Recalcitrance is just... Cal's full name is Recalcitrance. We call him Cal for short. I get it now. Just took a tumble off of something he shouldn't have been climbing. Cal complains. It wasn't that bad. Are you gonna be okay? I'm okay, Cal reassures. Just bonked my head a little. Mom always knows how to make it better, he says with a boyish smile, even if I'm old enough to take care of myself. My brave boy, Tira says, stroking his hair. Thanks for humoring me. She looks over to you. Don't let him show off for you, Mayrin. Ground-based feats of bravery only for the rest of the day. Cal whines and wrinkles his nose. Tira laughs and wraps him in a big motherly hug, rocking him back and forth. Despite his protests, Cal's eyes close in happiness. He really loves his mom. Alright. So we don't have anything here because we don't have biology high enough. Okay. Well, what do we want to do? I think this is where we're going to leave it for today. We will figure out what job we want to do next time. So thank you guys for joining me for this very first session of I Am a Teenage Exocolonist. We're going to do a cheeky save. Save game name, Stream 1. There we go. Cheeky save for us today, but thank you guys for joining me. I'm May, and I stream Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern US time. If that's not your time zone, feel free to follow me here and put on notifications, or jump over to Blue Sky and do the same, preferably both, so that you know when I go live. And over on Blue Sky, I sometimes talk about the games that I'm playing, what I think, how I'm feeling, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's get jiggy with it. I'm terrible at social media. I need help. Please help me. I also have a YouTube channel, so if you would like to stay informed if you've missed anything, or if you just want to see what else I have streamed on my channel before, because this isn't necessarily your bag, but something else might be, or you just need my company anytime, day or night, YouTube is the place for all of the VODs. They're raw, they're uncut, I make zero money over there. It's just a place for you guys to have my company day or night, 24/7, in handy dandy playlists that you can throw on and leave running and go do whatever it is that you need to do. So feel free to go over there and subscribe and ring the bell to know when the VODs go live. All right, it's time to raid. This is my raid message. It's basic, but if you'd like to add any love heart or raid emojis of your own to it, you are welcome to do so. But I do raid my friends because we're all in this community together, so we have to support each other, you know? Let's see here. I'm gonna go raid Psycho Phoenix, aka PP. She is a fun time. She's currently playing Fortnite, but you never know what she might play next. She usually plays multiple games in her stream, and she's hilarious. So we're gonna go say hi. With that being said, I hope you guys have the rest of a fantastic day, night, evening, morning, etc. I hope that I will see you again tomorrow for more Exocolonist. And until then, take care, because we raid in 3, 2, 1. Bye, guys.